final. In lane 1, Calvin Harrison just missed making the final in the 400 at the 96 Olympic trials in Atlanta. His twin brother Alvin is also in the race today. In lane 2, Jerome Young, U.S. champion 1998, 1999. In lane 3 is Leonard Byrd, a semifinalist at the 96 Olympic trials, an All-American competing at Texas San Antonio. In lane 4, veteran competitor Antonio Pettigrew, now 32 years old, four-time U.S. champion, but disappointments at the Olympic trials. He's failed to make the final in 3 previous Olympic trials. He has a chance to make the U.S. team today. In lane 5, he'll be a senior at the University of Washington in the fall, Jerome Hooker.
Well, Lewis and I talked to his coach, Olympic champion in '68, Lee Evans, who said he's going to try and run even splits. Forget about Michael Johnson on his outside. Just run 31.5 for 300 meters and then kick it home.
Michael is in lane 6. It was here in Sacramento in '95. He won his first 200-400 double. Made history with that double at the '96 Olympics. Wants to do it again this year. In lane 7, Alvin Harrison. And Harrison, of course, the twin brother of Calvin, who's out in lane 1, third at the Olympic trials and relay gold medal winner. And in lane 8 is Danny McCray, gold medalist in the 4x400 relay in Seville last summer. Cramping up in his heat at the '96 Olympic trials. That's what made him decide to move to Los Angeles to train with John Smith. And the former Texas A&M Aggie is here in the final in Sacramento.
Michael Johnson is such a man of confidence, and you hear that in his words and his demeanor and his body language from warm-up to race to leaving the stadium. If there is one target he has today, that's to hit the 200 at 21 seconds flat. Sets him up for a good curve, and then he'll kick it home.
Well, as Coach Clyde Hart Lewis said, stay healthy, don't set any records. But he also said to Michael, take no prisoners.
Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
And Jerome Hooker raising his hand and asking to stand up. So the youngster, 21 years old and a senior to be at the University of Washington, the Pac-10 champion, showing some maturity there and asking to get up and take a breather.
The 400s are different than all the other races because places 4, 5, and 6 are very important. If you get on that relay team with Michael Johnson, you're almost assured of a gold medal. So the fight down the straightaway isn't for just the top 3 places.
Alvin Harrison in lane 7 told me before the race also that he was happy to be just one lane out from Michael Johnson. Said that he'd have to run a technical race that was perfect. No room for errors for him.
He's in lane 6.
Michael Johnson will pace this first 50 meters and set himself up for a straightaway where he's trying to stay relaxed. And Alvin Harrison in lane 7 is moving well also.
And Jerome Hooker also. Harrison and Hooker and Michael Johnson. And here he goes. Michael Johnson kicking in, and they're in the turn for the home straightaway.
Tommy, look to hit that target mark right around 21 seconds flat for 200 meters.
Michael Johnson leads the field as they come to the home straightaway. It's Michael Johnson in front. The crowd rising to their feet. Michael Johnson has the lead. The battle is for second and third. Here's Michael Johnson coming to the line. Michael Johnson still invincible. The green double still alive with one last leap. It might have been Antonio Pettigrew to finally make a U.S. team. Very tight for third.
Antonio Pettigrew gets his training partner, Jerome Young, right at the tape. Jerome, who had been injured all year, was able to get through the rounds, race himself into shape. But what a great relay team for the United States. Really great guys. As you said, Pettigrew failed in 3 previous Olympic trials to now make the team. That's fantastic.
Michael Johnson running 43.68 looking relaxed as he has a huge lead over the rest of the field. And you got to remember, the quarter miles in America are the best in the world. And look how far he beat them by.
Pettigrew with that leap across the finish line gets the third spot. Alvin Harrison was second. But here is that form that we've come to admire so much. We used to call it unorthodox. Now we may say it's the standard, the running style of Michael Johnson.
Well, you know, they follow the same philosophy, the four-piece, pushing the first 50, pacing to 200. He had a great curve for position. And then, as Clyde Hart says, all he can do in the stands is pray, because you just can't teach a guy like Michael Johnson to do what he does coming up the home straightaway.
And he is with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Michael, that was your best in 2000. Was it simply to try and make the team, or you want to send a message? What other than making the team was your goal?
No message to send, just